Alright, so today I don't have much time, so I'm going to be checking out one video and one video alone, and that is going to be How Did the God Emperor React to Guilliman's Resurrection by Majorkill. Now, I have not read the book for this, but I wanted to see if a theory that I had was correct. And it was pretty much affirmed by what happened when Guilliman met the Emperor. So, I do know what happened when they met, somewhat. But at the same time, the clues and inferences that go into this, I mean, I had assumed I was correct about how the Emperor viewed his sons, but it was proven through what wound up happening with the when the Emperor met Guilliman. So I'm going to start recording things a little bit earlier in the day. Right now, for me, this is bordering on 11 o'clock at night, as far as, you know, if you were to adjust times. It might be a little bit later, might be actually midnight, to be honest with you. So I want to start recording a little bit earlier in the day, closer to the time I get home, and just try to work out my schedule to do that, so I'm not fighting sleep at the same time. I'm trying to, you know, catch things, commentate, stuff like that. In any case, here we go. How did the God Emperor react to Guilliman's resurrection?
G'day guys and gal. The resurrection of Guilliman
Oh yeah, this was recommended by Rick490.
was the biggest event in Warhammer 40k lore since the Horus Heresy.
True.
It took the galaxy by complete surprise. All prophecies and predictions were instantly cancelled, with even the most twisted future seers of the warp being blindsided. The fact that it was coupled with the fall of Cadia as well as the creation of the Great Rift added that extra spice.
There was I remember when, you know, it's like 2012, I got into a conversation about what would happen when 40k's timeline actually advances, and we started talking about the possible return of some of the Primarchs. Rogal Dorn was tossed around, the Line was tossed around, Korax was tossed around, the Khan was tossed around. Nobody mentioned Guilliman. Everybody just assumed that he was going to get rescued at some point. Nobody figured that it was going to be a Drakari to actually do it, but in any case.
After all, if the galaxy hadn't just shit the bed, then the arrival of Guilliman and his
Do you hear that?
Primaris would have pretty much spelt GG well played in favour of the Imperium. Needless to say, there was a lot of different reactions. Most of them were surprised. I've actually made a video already covering what the galaxy's reaction was, but I didn't include the Emperor in that video, who had a very strong and very interesting reaction. So I thought I would give him his own video. After all, it is the Emperor. Before we get started, there's more to Manscaped than just shaving your dick without dicing it up like sashimi, although that is pretty great. But did you know that Manscaped as a brand covers a wide spectrum of male hygiene and grooming products? A badass single-bladed razor that gives you a clean, rash-free finish. Ball deodorant that eliminates stanky dick. Body soap and hair wash that smells unreal. Like, I use it so much I can't even show you what it looks like because I just ran out. Roll-on deodorant that leaves you feeling and smelling fresh all day. The only thing they need now is Manscaped mouthwash and toothpaste, and I'm done. That's everything. But the hero of today's partnership is the new breathable anti-chafe smooth boxers. They feel great and look great, having a variety of designs that show you mean business. They are perfect for everyday use. And you can get a discount on them if you get them in a 3-pack bundle. Then to get an even bigger discount on the bundle as well as every single Manscaped product, then use my link and code Majorkill for 20% off and free international shipping. Cheers to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Today
all the links for Manscaped are going to be down in the description below with Majorkill's promo code. So go get yourself some stuff and shave your balls, guys.
We'll go over how the Emperor reacted to Guilliman's resurrection and why the reaction was such a big deal. Let's get into it. Before I get into the juicy flesh meat that is the love handles of this video, you're probably thinking, how the fuck does the Emperor react to something? Isn't he just a stale piece of beef jerky by this point? And you'd have a fair argument. The Emperor hasn't been in the chattiest mood since he was low-key murdered and put on a life support system that doubles as a torture chair. But we all know the Emperor's might comes from his soul and not his decrepit body. After 10,000 years of daily psycho-sacrifice and becoming one with the Astronomicon, his soul is burning brighter than ever and is the main thing keeping the Imperium together. As such, yes, he does have a degree of consciousness and can react to shit. However, that doesn't mean he can do it easily. When his body was shattered, so was his soul and consciousness. It's now heavily fragmented, meaning he struggles with coherent thought. He is no longer human and presents as such, acting more on omnipresent instinct rather than a structured plan. For example, when he created the living saints to help counter greater demons, this probably wasn't a grand plan or human thought. It was his godlike instinct to help mankind. I'm not even sure he was aware he created the living saints when he did. Likewise, he has occasionally blessed or even low-key possessed various humans at times to guide them towards achieving a goal, generally that goal being thwarting chaos. However, each of these actions requires a shitload of willpower and effort from the Emperor. He really struggles to pull himself together, or at least he did until Guilliman returned. Now, since the Great Rift opened at a similar time to G-Man's revival, the reaction he had took a blend of both events. Firstly, he was like, holy fucking shit, the galaxy just shat the pants, dude, with the psychic backlash of the Great Rift opening actually knocking him out for a bit, turning off the Astronomicon and dooming countless people. He was able to turn it back on after about a month, but since time across the galaxy gets a little funky, for some people this took a century or more. However, when Guilliman busted 3 nuts to get to Terra to speak with his father, the Emperor was pleased. Not to see a son, no. The Emperor never really considered the Primarch's sons, only forming that bond with them as a form of manipulation. To be honest,
this is very true. This is very, very true.
He kind of resented them and their need for glory and recognition.
You see, this is the thing that drives me. This is the thing that gets me about this, because people keep on talking about, oh, you know, he kept on doing this, he kept on doing that. That doesn't mean jack. The Emperor had seen 1,200 generations of humanity. 1,200. He loved humanity. He didn't love individual humans. The closest that anybody got to that was Malkador.
So when the Emperor saw G-Man, he reacted as if he had just found a long-lost favorite tool. Guilliman was a bit offended because, you know, a bit emotionally vulnerable after waking up to find the Imperium a toxic, superstitious mess and having just fought off Magnus as well as a massive Cornite invasion. Guilliman would go on to describe their conversation like talking with a star instead of a human. The gist of it was that the Emperor was shitty and dying, but hadn't yet truly given up, instructing Guilliman to take command and do his best to save mankind.
Yep.
We don't get to see the full conversation in the lore. However, an absolute fucking legend by the name of Balam95, I mean, yeah, probably not his real name, made a fan fiction of the conversation, which fits in extremely well without sucking off his own dick like so many fanfiction writers end up doing.
Yes.
Most people that have read it are actually surprised to learn that it's a fan fiction if they didn't read the small print. In saying that, the fan fiction has kind of become no longer relevant, as recent lore in the form of Godblight shows us some of the convo. In that, it has Guilliman asking for guidance, while the Emperor has a fucking aneurysm and just keeps saying contradictory things.
Yep.
He eventually is able to pull himself together to tell Guilliman that he is mankind's last hope in his own weird way, which is, you know, no pressure G-Man. Funnily enough, the fanfiction and canon convo are very similar. The only big difference is that in canon, the Emperor is an absolute mess and struggles to articulate his message, whereas the fanfiction has the Emperor as fully coherent but cynical. Both are good, and I'm recommending checking them both out.
You hear those pugs in the background, they're just enraged.
So that was the Emperor's initial reaction to Guilliman's resurrection. He was pleased but cynical and fragmented. Guilliman was disappointed by the encounter and shocked by how cold and damaged the creature he called father actually was.
Oh yeah.
The Emperor did give Guilliman his flaming sword as a badge of office, and also because it's fucking awesome, so there's that at least. But wait, there's more. G-Man then goes off on his Indomitus crusade, saves the galaxy, claps some cheeks, then goes to Ultramar to fight Mortarion.
Alright, this is the one picture of Guilliman that I do not like, because frankly Guilliman looks like the Gerber baby in armor. You'll never be able to unsee that image.
Now, G-Man should have learnt from the last time he fought a Demon Primarch that he isn't the greatest duelist on the best of days. Hence, Morty gains the upper hand and injects Guilliman with the Godblight, a virus that can kill even a Primarch. And it works. Guilliman rapidly deteriorates, shits himself, and dies. But he survives. Unlike the last time Guilliman died, the Emperor directly intervenes and saves Guilliman, instantly curing him of the Godblight, possessing his body, smacking Morty for being a naughty boy, before then setting Nurgle on fire for a laugh. Why the fuck didn't he pull this shit before, I hear you ask? Well, here's the ironic thing about the opening of the Great Rift. Sure, it flooded the galaxy with warp energy, meaning demons were stronger and more present.
But it also flooded the galaxy with warp energy, making the God Emperor more powerful.
And Psychers increased in power and instability. But guess who's the strongest Psyker of them all? That's right, the God Emperor of man-fucking-kind. The warp energy that flooded into his cosmic bones has allowed him to reunite his consciousness with significantly more ease. It's still difficult for him, but the fact that he can instantly cure the most horrific disease in the galaxy and then bench Nurgle is quite the step up from just sitting there and silently screaming all the time. The Emperor intervening like this, even to go as far as to call Guilliman his son again during the intervention, represents a dramatic shift in his attitude from when he first saw the Lord of Ultramar. When they first met, the Emperor was like, yeah sure, do whatever you want, who the fuck cares, we're screwed anyways. But now it's like, holy shit, this blonde boy is actually doing it. The motivation of seeing Guilliman work so hard to save the Imperium, combined with the extra warp juice he now has, gave him the will to fight. Like, as he is possessing Guilliman, he speaks of things that were previously seemed totally impossible. Stuff like curing demon Primarchs of their corruption and restoring them to their former selves.
Which would be awesome if we got... The one Horus Heresy book that I had the biggest problem with was you know, with the subsequent things on it, was Fulgrim, because I loved the way it ended and I hated the way they retconned it.
He even tells Nurgle that he's gonna straight up murder his ass, so yeah, the Emperor isn't fucking around this time. A few people aren't super keen on the fact that the Emperor can now just seemingly save the day at the last minute, giving Guilliman a ton of plot armor. But here's why what happened is actually fine. Firstly, Chaos pulls shit like this all the time, reviving dead champions, teleporting champions to safety at the last second. Fuck, I mean even the demons will always regenerate when the plot demands it. Secondly, I don't think this will be a regular thing. The Emperor likely had to clench real hard to pull this off, and the duel happened during a moment in intense warp spaghetti. For example, Nurgle literally manifested to watch the Emperor talk shit, so if there was ever a time when the situation was suitable for the Big E to make a clutch save, then it was now. If it does become a plot device where G-Men can now just Leroy Jenkins at Demon Primarchs no worries, then yeah, that would be retarded. But Warhammer writing has been pretty solid lately, so I doubt that will be the case. Guilliman isn't the only one who the Emperor has been helping. The emissaries Imperiatus Custodes, who usually just sit around and jerk off all day, were told by the Emperor to help Guilliman and act as his heralds who would drop off the Primaris to the various minor chapters. Previously, it would take them years of meditation and discussion to determine if the Emperor just did a fart or a burp, but since the Great Rift opened, he was able to communicate with them much more clearly and concisely. Knowing all this, it can genuinely be argued that the Emperor is back. I do like how the writers have changed the setting from the inevitable defeat of the Imperium to the Wild Wild West, where either mankind could now achieve a total victory or the Imperium could fall tomorrow. It makes it a lot more spicy. Well, at least until the rest of the Nids show up and devour everyone.
True.
If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be. Only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of fun little drawn images that you should not show your kids ever. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe.
Alright, so that was Majorkill talking about the God Emperor reacting to Guilliman's resurrection. When I heard it was Guilliman that came back, I was just sitting there like, wait, what? Because I always thought it would be the Lion. I always thought it would be the Lion. But, in any case, everybody's talking about the Lion might come back. The Khan, but I want Dorn. That's who I want. I want Rogel Dorn. Any case, like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'm going to be putting Majorkill's promo codes down in the description down below, so go get yourself... What the hell was that? Okay. That just blew me up. So go get yourself some stuff to shave your balls, guys. In any case, I'll have my Discord, my Patreon down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. I'm still working on Mistakes of the Emperor 6. It is 30 minutes done. I just didn't have any time to work on it today. No matter what you guys do, have a good day, guys.